everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a truly amazing weekend. Things here at the house are doing fantastically well in the garden. I do want to just show you the amazing sunflowers. Please forgive some of the chicken scratchings that's been going on. They got out yesterday and decided to do some digging. Some unwanted digging, but I wanted to show you these. Look, some of these sunflowers here have been in basically in storage for more than 3 years now. I think some of them have been in for like 4, some of them have been in for 3, and they're already popping up, which is just amazing and wonderful and very exciting and very, well, honestly, I was very surprised because I had harvested these seeds. You can see some of the shells. I had harvested these seeds from sunflowers that we had planted here many, many years ago. And I put them in a glass jar with a hole in the lid, drilled in the lid, or several holes drilled in the lid. And I never thought that they would survive, but they have, and they have started to grow. And so hopefully it might be a bit late. Our sunflowers might be a bit small and a bit late, but sunflowers, yay. I am so happy about that. I have also done some hanging baskets, and I'm going to try and do this in a way that doesn't show off my house number, but check this out. We've got some salvias here, and these guys smell amazing as well. And there's one on the other side I'm not going to show you because that does have my house number on it. But, you know, I think this whole setup, or my Uncle Rhinums, as my mum likes to call them, Auntie Rhinums, they're called something different over here and I've forgotten what they're called. But everything is working. It just looks lovely. And my honeysuckle is starting to grow. I have wanted a honeysuckle ever since I was very, very small. And I just walked into my wife's car. But my honeysuckle is doing really well. I'm very pleased with how fragrant it is already. Hopefully by the time you watch this weekend, it will be raining because we could really use some water here. But we've also got some tomatoes that I planted out here. Now, some of the tomatoes have been attacked by chickens, which is why we have this up. But again, things are growing really incredibly well. There's a tomatillo there. There is a spare watermelon there, which probably is not going to grow, but we have some tomatoes here. And around here, we also have more of those zucchinis, courgettes. I think I might soon have some flowers coming on them, which makes me super happy. Yes. The chickens attacked those too. I can't stop my chickens from doing chickeny things. They kind of help themselves and they get out and they cause a ruckus. But you know who hasn't caused a ruckus? The wonderful Ashley. You are beautiful. You are the fairest of them all, my love. She is amazing. If you're a regular, you know I have a bit of a favourite soft spot for her, but she's just amazing. We also have strawberries at last. Check these out. We have some red strawberries coming. I have already eaten one of the strawberries this year. We've got 2 over there that are going to be ready very, very soon. We've got one there that's turning. Hopefully by the time you watch this at the weekend, there's one over there. We will have enough strawberries for me to actually have strawberries and maybe some cream from our local very good farm. So we shall see. This week I haven't done a whole lot in the garden, evidenced by me just walking straight into some cobwebs, which are now all over the camera, and probably you can't see, but I can. But the garden has been pretty much taking care of itself. We've got some growth happening here. Looks like somebody has been digging up maybe some gophers in there, being naughty. That happens. It happens from time to time. It is unfortunately one of the sad things. Some of my watermelons have perished. Others are doing okay. And I'm not entirely sure quite how to keep them in good stead. But I have decided, unfortunately, that all of my peas that I planted are no more. R.I.P. the peas. I'm going to have to plant some fresh peas in pots in the greenhouse and then bring them outside when they're ready. As I detailed in last week's show, we had some issues. We had some critters coming along and helping themselves, and they very much did help themselves. But you know what? Over here, we do have the beans growing. We do have some beans growing here. We have some beans growing over here. And they will soon be climbing up the corn. And hopefully, at least one of these plots will actively have some good stuff going on. Or as Yerog, one of the characters in a book I'm reading at the moment. Good stuff. Good stuff. What's the name of that series? I'm sure that someone here likes sci-fi as well. And I can't think of the name of the series now. It is Ruins of the Earth series, and I've forgotten the author's name, but very, very fun. Very good. Over here, you can see we've got the corn is doing really, really well. Again, no peas in this section, so I'm going to have to plant some more peas to put in, and that's fine. It's just one of those things. But as you can see, everything else is doing well. And yes, I do need to thin these guys out at some point. I think here we've got some radishes, and then I'm not sure what we've got here. Some brassicas of some description. Over here, we do have some a beet coming up. You can see just there's just a very fine line of beetroot coming up, which is good because the original beet didn't grow and I had to reseed it. But over here, check this out. We have beans. The first beans of the season. These are broad beans or fava beans, whatever you want to call them. We've got some coming here. And these guys are nearly as tall as me. They're growing, I mean, above the stakes now. So I am actually considering taking the tops out, partly to stop them from breaking in the wind. These stems are hollow, and so they can be quite easily crushed and bent and broken. So I may kind of take the tops off as to encourage the plant to send all of its energy elsewhere. Down here, although it doesn't look like it, we do actually have some lettuces growing and they're doing okay. We also have some weeds growing. We have to decide when we go harvesting which is which. The coriander, smelling like stink bugs as always. We've got some dill down here and we have some fresh dill down the bottom that is growing up, and dills are going to be really important for the pickling cucumbers. So hopefully these guys down here will catch up and grow, because dill in pickling cucumbers, really, really tasty. I don't think I have any ripe strawberries hanging out down here, and if I do, then they can go to the critters that live in the undergrowth. As you can see, it's pretty tight back there with the raspberries, and I think this might be the last year that I even consider having strawberries in this particular part of the garden, because these raspberry bushes really have grown at an incredible rate. You, however, are not a raspberry and you can come out. I was joking with my mum the other day about the fact that we very often end up weeding our garden when we go looking around it. We see things that shouldn't belong, and we go, hey, we should take that out. You don't belong here. And because the soil is pretty easy to work with, I just take them out and put them at the side. That's the way it is. And yes, if you just noticed a little pause, it's because I had a bit of a coughing fit and I didn't want to have that on camera. So I do apologise for that. The chickens are in timeout this week, or they were today. We're filming this on Wednesday because yesterday they got in that front border and did bad things. But hey, check out what's going on in here, because interesting, awesome, amazing things are happening. First off, we have some of our first tomato flowers coming, which is fantastic. These tomatoes right here are stew peace tomatoes. which are quite large tomatoes, and the plants are quite large as well. So they're doing really well. These are spare tomatoes. Like I say, if you need some tomatoes and you're local, let me know. We've got some big growth at the back here as well. These tomatoes are doing incredibly well. And check out my cucumbers, because cool things have been happening with my cucumber plants. Specifically, you notice that some of them have started to change colour. They've gone from being kind of that pale green to being that really verdant green. And that happens when they decide, okay, let's start growing. We're happy, we're going to start growing. You'll notice some of these have not got their full deep green yet, but this guy over here, totally in on it, totally growing. And if you look at how this one is growing compared to the others, you'll see definitely some significant growth happening. Now this one over here is Chelsea Prize. It's an English cucumber. These are all Chelsea Prizes in this section. Obviously that's not those are lettuces, but over here these are pickling cucumbers. So hopefully we should have loads of pickling cucumbers at the end of the season, and maybe a few Chelsea Prize. That's fine, because the English cucumbers that I really want are all the way over here. These 6 here. These ones are called Telegraph, Telegraph Improved. You'll notice the back ones are starting to change colour. The front one's not quite there yet, but we'll see. I do have some spares here, and as you can see, the spares are starting to make flowers, and that is good, because it means actual cucumbers are not far away. We got potentially some flowers coming on here as well, which makes me very happy. Talking about fruits of our labours, check this out. I have never successfully grown peppers from seed. This one I picked up at a local feed store. This is a yellow pepper. It's called Aladdin, and that's my first pepper of the season, and I've got another one there. Unfortunately, I managed to take the top of this plant out, so I hope it survives. But over here we have North Star, which is a red pepper, and I think I've got a couple of red peppers on the other side. Nothing here yet, but you know what? That's fine. I'm just glad that we've got some bell peppers growing. And these peppers over here are ones I grew from seed, and it's the first time that I've ever had peppers come from seed. So these are the mini bell peppers over here. They are doing incredibly well. I think that's a Japanese variety of pepper. And then this one is California Wonder Pepper. And these are all from seed. I didn't think they were going to germinate, but they did. And I'm glad I kept them, because I nearly threw them out. But somehow they have managed to germinate, and all is well. You will also notice random grass seeds popping up, although that is not a random grass seed. What is that? No, that looks like it's a wheat of some description. Interesting. Must have come from the straw that we have in here, but I'm going to be pulling them out because I don't need them right at this time. More tomatillos. If you want tomatillos, let me know. And check this out. My potatoes are doing really well. I do now have a tub of potatoes at the other end of the garden that have been planted up, and they are doing incredibly well as well. So the greenhouse is doing great. It's getting late in the evening, so after I've finished filming this, I will be rolling down the windows, because you know what? We're going to get a really cold night tonight. It's going to drop down to either 5 or 6 degrees Celsius, which for the middle of June, it's kind of cold. For those who prefer their temperatures in random units, known as Fahrenheit, that is somewhere between 40 and 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is, like I say, it's pretty darned cold. The nice thing about these greenhouses, though, is it's very easy to put the windows down. I literally just unroll them and then stick it on, and then it works. These have also been really useful. My 3D printed plant clips. I'll maybe try and remember to throw a link in the description this week to the Thingiverse files that I used, because it's really useful having that there and being able to use it and be able to print it for free. Well, not for free. I have to pay for obviously the electricity and the materials used, but very, very low cost. And because we are out in the boonies, certainly beats having to go to a local store and interacting with humans, because I don't know if you've noticed, but humans suck. They're really terrible. So anyway, that is everything going on right now in the garden. Our first batch of potatoes are nearly ready for the season. And I'm really very, very grateful that we have such amazing weather right now. Everything's growing. We've got some fresh eggs. We've got 4 fresh eggs. I have too many eggs now. So if you're family and friends and you're local and you would like eggs, let me know. I can be your local egg supplier. Tell me about your garden, tell me about your animals in the garden and how everything's doing. And of course, I will see you this time next week, and maybe, just maybe, I will have dug up some of my early potatoes. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of more than 1,500 people who help fund this channel through Patreon and YouTube. They help cover our bills, pay our team, and make sure that we can be 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, just over $10 a year. A huge welcome to our newest supporters, Mac McIntosh, Kyle Randall, Bryant E. Day, Shedrick Mask, and Robin Mayorga. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your week of fame. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at, address linked below. And if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store in the down below. This month, we're getting ready to celebrate Pride with an amazing t-shirt design by our in-house artist and animator Erin. Get yours today when it drops in early June by heading to our Redbubble store. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you've subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we think that this one is also well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving!